Hi, this is part one of the two-part series of videos on creating an electronic portfolio. In today's short introduction to this, we'll be focusing on the goals of the course portfolio assignment. And then in part two for tomorrow, which you can of course look at immediately after this, you don't have to wait a whole day, we'll be talking specifically about the format and the different digital spaces you might craft in order to develop your portfolio. So I want us to begin by taking a look at the portfolio assignment here in the Google form, and I want to highlight the very first thing listed on this assignment, and that is the task, what I've called the task. This is the core of the assignment, the main goal of this portfolio, and that is to create an electronic portfolio for this class that demonstrates how you have fulfilled course assignment and writing goals. So you're demonstrating three things. That is how the various work you've done in this class and your interactions with the readings and your work on the activities demonstrate that you've fulfilled course goals, the ways that you have fulfilled goals for particular activities, and finally, and we'll talk a bit more about this too, because it's less explicit than the others in other parts of the courses, that is how the various work in this class for you has fulfilled certain kinds of writing goals for you. But let's start with the course goals here that it mentions. And we can go to our course site, and if you scroll down on the policies page, you find course objectives. And here I have listed 4 objectives that are specific for our section of this class during this winter term. And then below that are the various GE Pathway objectives listed for English 350, as well as the mention of it being a writing intensive and a US diversity requirement fulfilling course. So just really quickly, the first course objective, understand and reflect on literature's crucial relationship to technological innovation, right? So one of the things that the various readings and activities have asked us to do is to do this work of thinking about the intersections of literature and technology, right? As part of that, one of the things these various readings, the various media that we've looked at, they've pushed us to think about our assumptions about literature. That is, what is literature? What counts as literature? What does literature do? What we can include in literary form? That's this one. Part of that is then honing our techniques of literary analysis. And you'll notice, especially with this one, there are activities in which I have explicitly listed the activity goal as working on our literary analysis. So one of the things you should do in your reflection essay in this portfolio and in the activity head notes that you'll be writing is find connections between these overall course goals and the specific goals of the activities we've done. And I've tried to list those goals on those activities in ways that will really clearly connect with these overall course objectives. Finally, we have creatively respond and reflect on engagements with various literary genres and media, and that fits with the previous 3 here. Right, so we can see a focus of these, and we can see the ways in which particular activities highlight, while each activity might connect with all 4 of these, particular activities will highlight one or a couple of these course objectives. Then finally, we have the GE Pathway course objectives, and I won't talk too much about them, but you should also look for moments in your reflection essay and in your activity head notes where you can talk about you're developing written communication, critical thinking. You might also point to the ways in which certain readings or different activities have asked us to think creatively, and not only creatively, but also to think about and engage with ideas on diversity, right? I think in particular our timeline activity asked us to think about some of the ways in which the history of technology gets represented, like who gets included and who doesn't. And then also we might point to something like Boundless as a text that has us think about, in particular, like gender and sexuality, right? These are moments where we can plug our work in, both through readings and activities, with these overall course goals. So your goal in this portfolio is to make those connections clear for me, right? That you're talking about in your reflection essay and in your activity head notes, connects with these course objectives, and then be able to discuss the particular objectives of an activity. So that is the part 1 video for creating an electronic portfolio. In part 2, as I said, we will be discussing the particular, the suggested format. And on the assignment, I've listed some suggested sites that you might use to create your portfolio. You aren't limited to these, but as I say on the assignment, if you decide to go with a different site or a different application to create this, please get in contact with me before you get started on it so we can chat about the ways in which your chosen platform or application does actually work for the purposes of this portfolio assignment. Okay? Thanks.